What's up, everybody? Welcome to another brand new episode of Undisputed Anime. I'm one of your hosts, Zane Reed, aka Zane Taichou. The coffee's kicking in now. I've just realised how wild that intro was. I'm sorry if you're driving and you've just been like, "What the hell was that?" Coming in hot. I'm Zane. Welcome to the show, aka Zane Taichou, captain when it comes to recommendations. And as always, I'm joined by my besto friend, Susu Day. How you doing, buddy? I couldn't have teed that up better, could I?
I'm dead. I died. Itsu, he's back. I don't know what's happening.
Besides that, how are things? How are you? Like, what's going on in the world of Susu Day?
I'm good. You know, so we had some much needed in person time yesterday. That was nice. I've been watching lots of anime. I've been playing lots of video games. I've been writing. You know, scouring the job market, trying to look for better opportunities. You know, apparently, anime podcast co-host isn't like a common job that just shows up, but I live and dream.
We'll make it a possibility. Don't worry. We'll pierce. Yeah, our drill will be the one to pierce the heavens.
It's up to you guys. Make this my actual job, and I won't have to job hunt for a better job.
That might be a nice little segue, actually. For audio listeners and for video watchers, we're currently building out our Patreon. We want to look at some exclusive content for you. So right now, there's a free tier, so you can sign up for free. You can interact with... There'll be a poll about today's subject, which is about a movie that we're going to review. But you can sign up for free, vote in the poll, see what you thought of the movie, leave your comments and things of that nature. So yeah, we've got a Patreon. There's also monetary tiers. So I think the first one starts from like £4 a month and £10 a month, etc. But once it's built out a little bit more, because we've trying to work on versions of the podcast where it's ad-free for you guys and things. But yeah, check it out. Links will be in the description down below. Whew. Other housekeeping. Our previous episode of the winter lineup will be up and live at the same time as this episode. I swapped hard drives because my PC was like, so many podcast recordings and streams because I go live on twitch.tv. So I had to move content around, and yeah, it just meant that all my editing software was like, I'm looking for it here, but it's not here. And it's like, no, don't look here. Look here now, because it's a new hard drive for this stuff. So that's been fun.
The working man over here. Get a load of this guy.
I know, yeah, doing everything, doing all sorts of bits and pieces. something like that. Things first, I want to give a mini shout out to all the new subscribers on YouTube. Thank you so much if you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you to Sparky776, Morty Montgomery, and Madrod625.
Classic Mad Rod.
If you want a shout out, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. What else is going to say in housekeeping? I've mentioned about the episode. Today we're going to review and talk about Cosmic Princess Kaguya, a movie that's come to Netflix. And I think that's everything. If you are a new listener, again, just to kind of signpost the show, we'll go non-spoilers. We'll also give our review, like feelings, our review, and then we'll go into spoilers. So we'll split the episode into two for you guys. So again, that way gives you an opportunity to navigate spoilers and things of that nature. Cool. Cool. I just realised we're both wearing white t-shirts today. Check us out.
Yeah, mine's not anime though. Mine's like kind of ooh. Yeah, there's a tagline at the bottom that says what does it say? It says half algorithm, half deity. Whereas you're here representing the anime community with your with some ultra instincts.
To be fair, yours is very much living in the now, right? Like it speaks volumes to where we are in 2026.
This is the mental state for a lot of people. So,
Undisputed Anime Podcast, which is available on a variety of platforms. This is where we get together every 2 weeks and give you some anime recommendations, impressions, reviews. As I mentioned, live on YouTube. I nearly said live on YouTube. We're not live anymore. We used to do it live once upon a time. But we're also on podcast platforms around the world. If you love what you do, if you love what we do, be sure to like and subscribe and give us a star rating on your favorite podcast platform. Let's talk about Cosmic Princess Kaguya, a movie, as I mentioned, that's come to Netflix. It released on January 22nd, 2026. So it's been out for a wee while. We're recording this February 8th.
We had about 2 or 3 weeks since it was released.
With a runtime of 2 hours and 20 minutes. Created by Studio Colorido and Studio Chromato.
I think that Studio Chromato and Studio Colorido are kind of two heads of the same entity, because when I was doing my research prior to the show, it seemed very clear that Studio, and if you search for Studio Chromato, I kept getting forwarded to Studio Colorido. Stuff. So I think that they're like, because they've got very similar logos. So I think maybe they are two like heads of the same beast, and they kind of work on separate projects, but maybe they came together on this one.
Kind of like a subsidiary, like how you get like Studio Bones' film.
Yeah.
Or am I thinking of I might be thinking of something else.
But that's the concept. I think that's what it is, because like when you like if you just go onto like Anime News Network for Studio Chromato, it only lists like 1 or 2 things that it's been involved with. One is Cosmic Princess Kaguya and how it was involved in the novel, the movie, and the manga. And also, apparently, they did some key animation for episode 4 of JJK. Of Culling Game.
Oh.
And, yeah, so not too shabby.
If you are not familiar with Studio Colorido's game, they have famously worked on Burn the Witch. They have also worked on the Pokemon Twilight Wings, The Gathering of Stars. I think that's the YouTube videos and things.
Yeah.
But yeah, other noticeable projects they've
worked with Disney on Star Wars Visions. They did episode 2 of season 1, which was Tatooine Rhapsody, which was the one with the big band, I think. Really, like, it wasn't my favorite episode, but I really loved how alive they made the universe feel. They made the universe we already lived in. They also were responsible for Penguin Highway.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, and additionally, Cosmic Princess Kaguya is movie free of a free movie deal, which they had with Netflix. So they have other movies on Netflix currently, Drifting Home and My Oni Girl.
Yeah, I've seen Drifting Home, and that was very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and watch them. I've completely like this was during my like really big I'm too busy for anything phase. I'm gonna go back and watch all these because honestly, like the works that were done here were one.
I'm pretty sure I did an episode on Drifting Home in 2022. Audience, keep me humble on this one. Go back and watch that one. So yeah, there's that. And My Only Girl came out. It says here 2024. I could have sworn that was last year. Could have been a slower release.
It is the very beginning of 2026, so maybe it still feels like it was last year. Other than Studio Colorido, though, you can't obviously forget Twin Engine was involved in this as well.
Really?
Yeah, Twin Engine was also one of the production companies, and they're famously responsible for things like they worked on things like Psychopaths. This was like a lot of production stuff that they did. So
right, okay.
So it's less the animation itself, but they worked on like things like Vinland Saga, Hell's Paradise, The Ancient Magus Bride, which they're working with the production of Witch Hat Atelier, which has still not been released yet. They obviously, that we know, they also worked on Burn the Witch, and My Only Girl, Penguin Highway. They've been involved in a lot of the planning and production of a lot of the things that we actually mentioned for Studio Colorido. So
nice.
Yeah.
Do me a wee favour, just pull the mic a little bit closer
to my mouth.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, no worries.
Excellent. Okay. Currently, let me just give you a rundown of Cosmic Princess Kaguya on all these different websites. So, looking at Internet Movie Database, it's currently sat at a 7.1 out of 10. Letterboxd, it's currently sat at a 3.8 out of 5 stars. And Rotten Tomatoes, it's currently unscored because on the tomato meter it has 8 reviews, and on the popcorn meter it has less than 50 ratings. So sadly it doesn't get a overall rating there. My first question to you is this, would you give this undisputed or disputed?
I'd give it undisputed personally. What would you rate it?
I'd also give it undisputed.
I found it to be such a charming film, and it was like funny in all the right ways. Like it wasn't like forced funny. I think that a lot of the comedy came from like internal monologue or just like very quick expression transitions. And there were a lot, and I did notice that there were a lot of expression frames which were very clearly references to famous expression frames from other anime properties. I'm pretty sure I saw a JoJo one in there, like with the very like serious, highly detailed like face and
yeah. I was thinking the same. I'm trying to think of the scene, but it's almost like she's shocked about something or upset, and like you said, it's that like super detailed.
Spent all of her money, like all her money had been spent, and she's like,
looks like Golden Wind style. Yeah.
So good, but I will off the I'm like at the very top of this discussion. Mm-hmm. I will say it's very long, and I think that itself might put a lot of people off because I know that some people don't have the bandwidth to do that much movie in one go. And I will also admit that like because I went into it having not watched any trailers or anything, I didn't know what to expect of it. So we got to like the 1 hour, 10 minute mark, and it felt like, okay, this could end now. Like, this could end shortly. And then I looked and I was like, there's still a whole other hour. Like, I don't know where this is going. And I loved it. I really enjoyed it for that because it really just kept me guessing. I'm usually pretty good at guessing where something's going to go based on like early like plot points. Didn't couldn't even for the life of me, other than like the story, like the old folk story of Princess Kaguya, like where I know like some minor details of that, couldn't even guess like where it was going to go next.
If you had to score it on Letterboxd out of 5 stars, where are you sat at the moment?
I personally would put it at a 4.2.
Wow.
For
okay.
my personal enjoyment. I think I said to you after I finished watching it, which was not too long after you'd finished watching it, to be fair. I did send it still quite early in the morning. I sent out a message to our group chat saying that it was a combination of all of my like favorite kind of genres of anime in a single story. So we had like slice of life, we had isekai, a digital isekai, we had aliens, we had like some like music and stuff, we had like action and like fantasy. It was like everything came together in this like really like cool way. And like I'm a huge fan of like the dot hack games and things like that, so like I always love it when you've got like a story set in like kind of a really rich digital world.
Yeah.
But I also like that wasn't like the whole thing. Like it was so well like kind of separated out to be like there's stuff going on in the real world and this is what's happening in the like digital world. It was great, like, really great for me. I really enjoyed all of the genres coming together.
I hadn't really thought of that actually. You're right. It is a melding pot of different genres and different things. Before I give you my thoughts, I should read the description just for those who don't know what Cosmic Princess Kaguya is. This is the story of Princess Kaguya like never seen before. Aira's, am I saying that correctly? Aira?
Aira.
Aira's life gets knocked off its orbit when Kaguya, a carefree runaway from the moon, moves in and convinces her to perform in a virtual world together. So there's this, as you rightly pointed out, there's all these different things. The kind of main story is that Kaguya is helping Aira kind of come out of her shell because Aira is very super productive, one lane. She's thinking about her career, she's thinking about her school life, and she plays video games.
Yeah, she's doing her absolute best to prove that her decision of the way that she wanted to live her life, because she had a bad relationship with her like mum, like she wants to prove that like was right in her decisions and not that her mum is right. That's what I took from it. Is like she's wanting to show her that like because her mum was able to do it. Apparently her mum did like the same thing. She moved out and she paid for everything herself. She paid all her own tuition and stuff, and she was able to do it without any help. And she's trying to prove that she can do that as well. And as a result, she's overworked in the worst kind of way.
Yeah. It's baby girl's trying to do it on her own sort of thing.
Yeah.
But there's like a sacrifice to like her personality and, you know, her hobbies and engagement with her friends and stuff. So yeah, it's a really beautiful story. I will say that. First of all, I watched it dubbed and I watched it in 2 sittings. I didn't realize it was going to be 2 hours. I had seen 1 or 2 trailers, like a little bit of teasers, nothing too long, like again 3-minute trailer or anything. So my expectations were, shall we say, on the ground floor. I had not much going into it, but I was really blown away, of course, by the quality of the animation, but again, the depth of the story and what this movie tries to conquer in 2 hours. I did kind of sit back for a moment and I thought to myself, like you mentioned, there's a whole part of this is played in a digital world, in a virtual world and things. And I was like, we've seen a few virtual world movies. The best one is probably Summertime Wars. And I was like, is Summertime Wars better than this? Like, how does this compare to that? I know it's not a 1-for-1, but in terms of virtual world, this does take place over the summer, ironically, as well. I think it's not too far off. I don't think it's too far off. The world, the real world stuff is really good, and it doesn't have the same drama as Summertime Wars of the world is going to end and we need to stop it by having this massive fight in the digital world.
That sounds like Digimon.
Well, it's the same director, isn't it? That's why. That's why Summertime Wars is amazing, because it's the non-Digimon version. I really liked it. I think on Letterboxd I gave it a 4 stars. The voice acting's great. Again, the animation's great. Color palette's good. The music I wasn't blown away by. And I, again, was kind of thinking, I've seen K-pop Demon Hunters now. And that's going to be a tour.
So I am intending to go back, and if I don't watch it again, because I watched the dub because I was tired, and I was like, this is my homework. I need to watch this because we're going to discuss it. I'm either going to rewatch it in the sub, or I'm at least going to go and find the soundtrack and listen to the soundtrack in the original Japanese. I get the feeling that because I found that the actual background music itself was very, very good. I feel like I felt like the English lyrics of the musical numbers felt off, but that feels like it's because it's one of those situations where they've had to translate a J-pop song into an English song, and as a result, like the English language doesn't really lend itself to the same sort of like energy. I bet like they're absolute bangers. Like I didn't think they were awful, but I think that they're probably way better in Japanese.
Yeah, I get that sense of feeling as well. Like they're trying to fit in the English lyrics where they don't kind of match.
Like Japanese and English isn't a 1-for-1 language, so it's like it doesn't translate the same, and you can't like get the same cadence of things, because that song about like being a princess is like kind of it didn't flow right in my head. Yeah, agreed. It probably in Japanese is probably so peppy. In fact, this is probably what my working day tomorrow is going to be like. I'm probably going to have those songs on, and it's going to be like another like when K-pop Demon Hunters came out, and I'm like, okay, I've listened to this soundtrack like several times today. Sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I too want to check out the Japanese version of it, considering music is such a huge part of the story, and not just for the characters, but also the digital artists in all the streamers in the virtual world are also musicians and things. Yeah, and it's kind of like, I want to know what that song's like in Japanese and stuff. So yeah, I do wonder as well, would it have been better if they had done the concerts in just Japanese? Like I've seen anime do that before, where although it's English dub, the music part they've just left as it is.
I mean, and to be fair, like it's absolutely like commendable to have tried to have done it in English, and like obviously the voice actors who did it were still like excellent. I'm not saying that they're bad singers or anything. It's just that the lyrics
not at all
did not sit. Not even that they didn't sit right. They just didn't match the sort of cadence that I thought would have been better for it. So no, agreed. But the actual animation of those sequences though were great. Like all of the musical numbers like were accompanied with incredible animation.
Choreography was outstanding.
Yeah.
Just the foot movements and the hand movements and things were just amazing. There's not really much I could say is actually bad about this movie. Like you said, maybe the runtime is a little bit long, but I feel like considering the story that they're trying to tell, they let moments breathe when they needed to. The action sequences were perfect. They didn't overstay their welcome at all.
Yeah. They weren't like the main feature of everything. Like when the movie started, you obviously get to see some clips of like the game and like the battling and stuff, and I was like, oh, is this what this, because I hadn't watched any trailers, I was like, is this what this movie is going to be? Is it going to be about is it going to be like tournament arc? Is it going to be like we're gonna like just see a lot of like fighting in the fantasy world, and some real world stuff. And it was actually the smallest part of the whole thing was the actual fighting. But they didn't skimp on the fighting. It was the animation, like the way that those fights flowed were all excellent.
They were so good.
Yeah,
they were so good.
I was like, "What? You don't have any business. Like you've with this movie, you've gone. I'm gonna do everything." And they usually, when people try and get everything in, you find that they lack it in some way. But they really didn't.
I can't think of a part that compromised.
Yeah.
Like there's. And again, even just those quieter moments where the friends meet up and they talk about their future plans, going to the fireworks show and all that stuff. And it's like, it has the moment to breathe and it has time for comedy where Kaguya's eating pancakes and she's like, this is amazing. Like, these taste incredible. Everything plays out nicely. I'm trying to think if there was any other sort of qualms I had with it. I don't think there is. I don't think so.
What?
Go ahead.
I was to say, like, do you like why are you thinking on that? Like, should we do our hey, we're gonna like go into like spoilers territory now? And
are you ready for spoilers?
And I'll give if you'd like, I can give a rundown of like the plot point by point.
Okay. What we're going to do, we're going to cut to an ad break right now.
Unless you're on the Patreon.
Unless you listen to the free version of this. And when we come back, we will go into spoilers. So if you are here for non-spoilers, pause here and then watch the movie, come back, and then let us know what you think of the movie as well. Also, I'd love to know if you check out the movie off our recommendation. That'd be also interesting to see. But yeah, great movie. 4 stars from me. Undisputed. Check it out. Undisputed Anime has a dream of becoming the #1 podcast in the world when it comes to anime. But we need your help. That's why this episode is brought to you by you. We need you to like, subscribe, leave a comment, things that you love about the podcast, which you hate about the podcast, things you'd love us to review, watch, review, talk about, all those wonderful things. We want your support. To do that, we want you to be part of the podcast. So be sure to leave a comment. We'll read them out on the show. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube. All the relevant links will be in the description. And if you listen to this on your favorite podcast platform, again, feel free to leave a star rating and a comment on what you'd like to see from the podcast. It truly means the world to us that you have supported us this far. We're looking to pierce the heavens and make sure our drill is the one to do it. So be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down and below. Even an emoji, we'll read those too.
Let's go. So our hero, Iroha, she's a girl who could do it all. Living alone, she's paying for her own tuition, she's paying for her own rent and food, she's got her own like little apartment, working way too hard, but in her downtime she's getting into the online gaming.
Love that.
She's a gamer, you know, and it's made very clear very earlier on that she loves the idol, I guess, and like kind of virtual administrator of the game Tsukiyomi, whose name is Yachio. Loves the slow music, but you can clearly see she is overworked. She's like struggling to stay awake in class, even though she's the top student. She's really doing it to him. A long weekend comes up. She's looking forward to some rest and relaxation, but she gets home, and on the way home, there's a glowing lamppost, and inside the lamppost, a baby.
Bebe.
It's
from
the
moon.
Yeah, and it's very quick. It's very quickly referenced that, like, you know, this is just like the story of Kaguya, the moon princess, who was found by an old man inside a sliced piece of bamboo. She takes the baby home because she doesn't know what to do, and the baby grows into a girl in like a couple of days. Really odd. She's demanding, she's selfish, she's hungry, but she's very attached to Iroha. and she begrudgingly lets her continue living with her. During this time, she, spending all her money, gets herself the equipment to be able to play the online game. And within the game, she creates her avatar, and they find out about this competition that will be taking place in order to actually collaborate with the administrator of the world. And she's like, we're going to win this. Like, I'm going to win this, because she wants to do something nice for Iroha.
Mm-hmm.
So she goes on to become because she's rightly so told that only streamers can participate in this. And she's like, okay, I'm going to become a streamer. And she becomes the variety streamer of variety streamers. But not only that, she's good at it, and she's also very popular, and people like watching her, and she's very entertaining. We get some like supercuts of like them trying to live together, her streaming, continuing to buy things so that she can stream and stuff. And eventually, climbing up the ranks, they receive a challenge from the favorite team, Black Onyx, who are some like battle idols, I guess. They agree to this. And this is where we have our like first great fight sequences. Ultimately, even though it seems like they're going to win, they actually like lose at the final hurdle. But she, in being herself, she gained so many followers that they win. They win the right to perform. They learn some new songs. There's lots of like lovely slice of life stuff. And then they perform. But during the performance, some tomfoolery happens. And some strange creatures start appearing. While also at the same time, it feels like people who are wearing the digital contact lenses to play, and also some like big like media services were all displaying like an image of the moon, and people who were wearing the smart lenses were seeing these strange like humanoid figures just like wandering around. These figures appear in the game, and they're trying to get to Kaguya. After this, after fighting them all off, things go on as normal. Things seem pretty good. Kaguya knows what's up. It was never really made clear to me in the movie whether she was unable to remember or whether she was just choosing not to share. She knows that like those are creatures from the moon, and they've come to take her back because she ran away from the moon because she was bored of what they were going to do. She said it was monotonous, and every day was the same, and she saw the earth, and she saw how people live freely, and she wanted that. But she kind of, at this point, understands that the moon is going to keep trying. The people of the moon are going to keep trying to take her back.
Mm-hmm. So,
Iroha decides, okay, we're going to perform one more time. Kaguya has taken this is going to be my retirement. This is going to be my retirement because I'm going to be taken regardless of whether I want to go or not. Iroha gathers the gang together, and they're like, okay, I need your help. We're going to fight and stop her from going. The big performance comes up after the Fireworks Festival, of course. And another incredible animation sequence. You've got Kaguya performing all at the same time as this big fight happening against these really, really beautifully, creatively designed like moon creatures.
They look amazing, like boss level.
Yeah.
Put them in the video game.
Yeah. But eventually Kaguya goes back with them. Iroha is mortified by this. But she also understands that like Kaguya had resigned herself to this. And then there's like a nice little like epilogue where it's like she's talking in her head again, and she's talking about this, like, this is how the ending was going to be. And then this was probably one of my favorite bits of the movie. It cuts to a like kind of the end, and then it shows like a Netflix, the show has ended screen. You might like this, but it's like showing like the like Black Onyx team and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no, this is not, it cuts back to her. It's like, no, this is not how this story is going to end. And she goes back to finish writing a song that she had started with her dad. And then there's a big collaboration. She starts doing stuff for herself. She conquers her fear. She contacts her mum and she tells her that this is what she's doing. Her mum accepts that. And then she finally sings the song to herself, and Kaguya hears it on the moon. Now, another thing I really liked is the animation change when they were on the moon, because it was all very pixelated and digital.
Yeah.
But upon hearing the song, Kaguya's like, hell yes, I'm going back to Earth. And she flees again. Time passes, a little bit of time passes. She goes back into the Tsukiyomi world, and she's trying to find, I always forget her name. She's trying to find Yachio, can't find her, but she finds her little, like, animal familiar. He says, put on your lenses and follow me. She goes into the real world. He's in her apartment, and he leads her to another apartment in the real world where you find this, like, kind of, like, cocoon, like, all hooked up to machines. Then basically you learn that Kaguya tried to use that the moon technology is way, way more advanced. Because 8,000 years had passed since she had returned from Earth, she needed to time travel to get back. But she hit an asteroid on the way back, which messed things up, and she arrived like 8,000 years too early. So then it just shows this like lovely montage of like she's kind of in this like ship cocoon which she can't escape from, but her familiar is able to, and her familiar is basically going around and like making sure that things go in a certain way so that eventually Tsukiyomi, the world, will be created. And that's when we find out that Yachio is actually Kaguya. And she's been waiting here this whole time, like, for this to happen, because she knew that this was going to happen. But yeah, and after that point, Iraha like sits and she listens to what happened in the last 8,000 years, almost dies as a result. And then she's like, you know what? I know what I want to do now. And she was going to become a law student, and she changes all her plans. She's like, I'm going to find a way for you to be in the real world again. And she spends the next 10 years revolutionizing robotics, and creates an android body for her so that she can return. I mean, that's the main takeaways from it. It was. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you covered quite a lot.
Maybe too much. It was a long movie, guys. It was a really long movie.
Yeah. So here's an interesting thing I noticed in my experience. I didn't think I was that emotionally invested until they went to take Kaguya away. Like, I felt like it was kind of by the numbers a little bit, like, you know, friendship group. Ira is slowly coming out of her shell and stuff. And then it wasn't till that battle with the Black Onyx, I feel like somewhere between that and Kaguya has to go. I was like, oh, I'm actually really emotionally involved now, like more than I was expecting.
Really sneaks up on you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially because of the framing of that big battle is like, as a viewer, you're looking at it as like, these odds are not good, but will they pull it off? But then it's like you see Kaguya's like, she's clearly not on the same page as everyone else, because she's like, I'm going to go because I have a responsibility. Like, I did run away from that responsibility. So even though everyone's fighting so hard to keep her there, she's obviously on a different page that she has to go, because this is what her life is meant to be. So, yeah.
Do you see any of the time travel twists coming?
Not
because I've did you not? No,
not at all.
Because early on, a part of me was like, when they announced the competition and that the world is called Tsukiyomi, and a part of me was like, is Naruto ruined this for me? Because I know Tsukiyomi and Kaguya are kind of like...
Yeah, they're like interlinked in Japanese like folklore and stuff.
Yeah. So I was kind of like, is my knowledge of Naruto ruining something here? And then I was kind of like, isn't it weird that Kaguya isn't Yachi? I forget the idol's name as well. Yachio. I was like, wouldn't it have made more sense that Kaguya was Yachio? And then, lo and behold, yes. they are one and the same person.
I think the reason that I didn't clock on, and like I said like earlier in the episode, like usually I'm like really pretty good at like working out how a movie's going to end like really early on. I think it's because her presence was so constant throughout. I was like, I think I got kind of like red herringed in that it's like, oh well, they're spending so much time on camera together interacting with each other. They're not the same person.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah. They did a concert together. Yeah.
I knew I was going down the route of like somehow Yashio knows Iraha. He's like, because Iraha was like, that melody sounds so familiar and stuff like that she had sung. And it's like, I was like, oh, maybe she has a connection to her dad. Because obviously her dad's passed away. And I was like, oh, maybe he was responsible with like the creation of like the world, or like even he was just like responsible for like some of the music like that she knows and stuff. I was like, that's why I thought we were going to find out some more stuff about her dad that she didn't know. So I think that's why I was like kind of blind to the idea of like time travel, because like there were so many genres like pushed into this. I wasn't expecting time travel to be a part of it as well.
Yeah. Same. Considering everything else about it was kind of so grounded in real world stuff anyway, where the only thing it kind of asks you to kind of push your perception is a baby comes from the moon. Also, there's this whole gaming world that you've probably seen in like 10 other different types of anime. So, yeah, it's kind of like, oh, and time travel.
Yeah. But again, like, I wasn't mad that the time travel was there. I was like, oh, actually, that's a fun little interesting thing to like tie this all up and like loop it around from start to finish and finish to start. It was like, oh, this it actually makes so much sense.
Yeah, it ties up so many loose threads that you may not even know was there.
Yeah.
Going back to the comedy, there's 3 pieces of comedy in this that made me laugh out loud. The first one is when the baby is in the telephone pole and the door starts to open and she instantly just closes it. She's like, no, I'm not dealing with this today. And then it just kept trying and she's like, no. So that made me laugh out loud. The other one is when she woke up one morning and she's like, Kaguya's gone. Oh my God, my life can go back to normal. And then the sink door just slowly opens up and she's like, I was hiding. So yeah, that made me laugh. And then the last one was, like you say, when she has this whole, inner thought where she talks about like, life is going to go back to the way it was without Kaguya. I am going to get back on track, finish school, go to law school, everything else, and then looks at the lamppost, and then, like you say, it goes into credits, and then she was like, no, I want my happy ending. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like,
yeah, really took me by surprise. I hadn't expected them to use frame for frame net. You enjoy this show page.
Yeah.
Like, as a transition, it's so good.
For a split second, because it was all in Japanese kanji, I think. I was like, oh, is this something happened here? Because it says like it has the orange box and everything. And then I was like, why is it recommending Onyx? Like maybe there's like
maybe an animation, maybe there's some content that they've released.
And then it's like, you silly bean. You thought this was the ending.
Great. And it was so good. It was just like so good to see that like supercut at the end of like, this is what she does for the like next amount of time. I really enjoyed it. I feel like I wouldn't have been massively disappointed if the movie had ended at that point. But the fact that it continued on for like another 20 minutes and it was like not forced or anything. It was like, no, this needed to happen.
Well earned. Got you to re-engage as well, because you wake up and like, oh wow, no, here's a mini movie.
It kind of gave me that feeling. Obviously, as viewers might know, I'm like, when a new Persona game comes out, I double down hard on a Persona game, and as many of you will know, Persona games often have alternate versions of the endings, where it's like there's an ending if you just play the game as normal, but if you do XYZ thing, there's like the true ending and stuff. I really liked that this movie had that feeling of like, if you made XYZ choice, this is where the movie would end. But if you've like done all of these extra like little bits in the story, you're rewarded with like the true ending stuff, or like the bad ending. I really love when games do, or stories tell you like this is where you'd go if you don't try, but there's a better ending than this, and that's what I really liked about this.
Yeah, me too. There was so much I really liked about it. Even the side characters. Like, I really like Ira's friends. I didn't feel like they were just shallow. They cared about everyone in their friendship group and stuff. And
that was I actually, like, again, I also really liked them as well. But I was like, and they could have very easily overdid it with the friends in like tried to like make us know them too well. But the personalities that they had made them just work so well in the limited capacity that we knew them. We just knew that they cared, and we knew that they were like they seemed like interesting characters. Like one of them's like really obsessed with Black Onyx and stuff like that and stuff, and to the point where she was actually meant to be in the fight against them. But the moment they arrived, she passes out.
How did you feel about the leader of Black Onyx being Ira's older brother?
I actually really liked it because I was like, this is great. And it also made more sense to me than why all the time that she's been helping Kaguya, she's been in the fox costume. Because I was like, oh, like she just wants to remain private. But I was like, why does she want to remain so private though? This is like a virtual avatar and stuff. And it's like, no, her brother's a really big deal in the game. And like, she doesn't want to draw attention to herself.
A part of me, again, playing the speculation game, I was kind of like, oh, is he like a previous love interest? And I think that would have been the easy answer, to be like, it's her ex, or do you know what I mean? But no, I kind of like that it was her older brother. And like you said, he's like this hotshot. He's an incredible gamer. And then the to kind of add a little bit more seasoning to it, they kind of show clips that he did a similar thing. He was like, I'm going to Tokyo. I'm going out on my own to do things.
I do. I think it was very important. Like, I think for the story, it was important that he was the brother and he had a presence, because with the flashbacks, like you said, it also showed that, like, and this is obviously very common in like a lot of family dynamics. One child is kind of left to kind of do what they want, whereas a lot of pressure is put on the other child. And that's what happened with their their relationship. They were really close as kids, but as they got older, after their father had passed, it seems like their mum had put a lot of like pressure on Irawa to to achieve and do really well. Whereas he was just like a pro gamer. He was just like playing video games in his room and being like amazing at that. And it seems to be like not like the favorite child, but he was getting away with a lot more than she was. So I think it was really important that he was there, because it then it really helped deepen Iraha as a character, because you're like, oh, this is why she's the way that she is. It kind of gave us a gateway into learning about her mum without it being forced in.
Yeah, and I think it also gave an emotional barrier, because when they have that battle, and then she has all this doubt, doesn't she, that she can't beat him because, like you said, he's like a pro gamer. He's gamed every day she's known him, and then when she does finally beat him, and then you see him mutter to himself, he was like, "See, I knew you could finally do it." Yeah. I was like, "Oh, this is so satisfying!
Yeah.
It's so good."
And then he came in absolute clutch at the end, just plowing through enemies to get that win at the end.
Yeah. And I really like.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just saying, I think it was just really, it really showed the because it had mentioned that there was this gap between them in kind of skill, but then it's he was very clearly playing with them to some degree, because you see exactly how good he is in that kind of real clutch moment where he's just no,
my team's down.
Yeah, I let you have your little win, and now we're doing it. But he did fulfill her wish, because she basically said that, like, he said if she beats him, he'll grant her a wish. And the wish was like, I would like you to help me co-sign on a new apartment, a bigger apartment. And he's like, do you not want me to just buy you an apartment? And she's like, no, I'd rather die. Just co-sign it, please.
I really like Black Onyx. I think they're so cool.
Yeah.
They are kind of there to be the super cool group, because it positions them that way. But even just like the crazy thing, like teeing up to the battle as they're waiting for Black Onyx to arrive, it's like they're playing another game.
They're showboating so hard, aren't they?
Just aura farming, like standing on tigers and like shooting all these bad guys and stuff, and then they blow
Bursting
up
out of the mountain.
Yeah. So that was crazy. And then there's in the final fight. Well, I say the final fight, but in the fight against the moon creatures and stuff, where they act as like support and as a front line. That was really cool, because they kind of again go all out and stuff.
And you find out that her brother's got an alternate form.
Yeah,
like you see him very quickly, like gets this red screen, and he's like, and then the next time you see him, he's coming out of this alternate form, but he's like a more Oni-fied version of like bigger horns and like
long hair and stuff.
Yeah,
I was like, this is cool.
Right.
And
I would honestly, if they want to make a series about Tsukuyomi, like even if they just want to do it like a Star Wars Vision sort of thing, where it's like not one single story, it's just like they'll do like an episode which focuses on a character in the world and just what they're doing. I'm glad. I'd be down for that.
I'm glad you say it, because I was going to tee up and say I would absolutely love to see more from this virtual world. Like, I know everyone's like isekai, blah. I think this would be so good. And even if it doesn't have to be about Black Onyx, like you said, it could be about any other person or a new character who's trying the game for the first time. I think this world is so cool. And if we get the same level of action, which I don't know if we would because it's a movie, but seeing what this studio can do with Pokemon on YouTube, it's just like it could be amazing.
Even just give us some 10-minute shorts.
OVAs. Yeah. No, I totally agree. If they just gave us a couple of OVAs, I would be happy to sign up. I'm
just reading some stuff about the production right now. So I'm just looking here. It's like the actual director was Shingo Yamashita, and this was like his first feature length film that he directed. But he had previously directed Pokemon Twilight Wings and the opening sequence for several anime series, including the first season of JJK and Chainsaw Man.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, his initial plans for the film were rejected because they lacked elements that would appeal to the public as an original work. After which he created a new proposal whose elements included a metaverse and live streamers. Apparently, the decision to include Vocaloid producers, because some of them came and worked on it, came after Yamashita realized that Yachio's characteristics and designs had similarities to Hatsune Miku. He also cited One Piece Red and Needy Girl Overdose as partial influences for the film.
Oh.
So, looks like it had a really interesting design journey.
Yeah, that's really interesting. The Miku line is quite funny because I saw one review on Letterboxd. I'm just having a quick look now to see if I can find it, which was something of a similar vein. If I go to more, this review is on Letterboxd and it comes from Neu Blue, who gave it 4.5 stars, and their review says Kaguya just started playing Beat Saber as a form of combat.
I completely forgot about that because it happens in the middle of the musical number and the enemies are coming up the stairs and she does that like dual lightsaber thing where she like puts her arms out to the side and then she beat sabers these enemies coming up the stairs. It was so good.
So good. I'm just trying to see if there's some other great reviews. What else do we have?
It's absolute cinema.
Yeah, I can't see it, but a lot of the reviews just say like how much they really love the relationship between both characters.
You know what? Like when you see like bookstores and they put like just a really vague description of like a manga series. That's basically how you could describe like Cosmic Princess, like Kaguya.
I think this one from Aubrey, who also gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. Imagine adopting a magical moon baby and then she spends all her life savings to become a VTuber. I'd kick her back to the bloody moon.
Incredible.
Yeah, I really love this. I think Black Onyx is going to be my new personality going forward.
It's you've rewriting your whole personality. Next time we see you, you're gonna have like the little gonna have like some like horns like PVC onto your face and like the fur collar.
Oh yeah, and the weapon as well was really like the way it could be two weapons.
Yeah, because it was like it was like an Oni club, but it was also a gun
and a sword as well.
Yeah. I like that because that felt very Ruby to me, because in the world of Ruby, like all the weapons are like melee weapons, but they're also guns, which is always fun.
And I like Ira's dual swords, but also a keyboard and like a boomerang.
Yeah,
that was like,
and also like a grappling really hook as well.
Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
and I also love Kaguya's like giant hammer that she could ride on like a rocket, which is
yeah. No, that was everything's so well designed.
Yeah, so much fun.
Beautifully
so much whimsy in this title. I really would love to see more like this. Definitely going to go back and watch the 2 other feature films that were part of this deal. I don't often say that I want like Netflix to keep like taking up anime studios because we've had these conversations before, but I would love it if they've just like, hey, can you do some more? Can you do like 3 more movies?
I think that's probably the biggest sin of this, is that Netflix isn't necessarily where you instantly think of great anime movies.
Yeah.
Like, I know they've got the whole back catalogue of Miyazaki Ghibli movies, but considering the demographic will normally watch things whilst they're also on their phones, like scrolling and stuff, it's not usually the right audience. But I really hope people do take the time to see it, even if they don't watch all of it. I really hope they take the time to give it its flowers.
Would I be hoping too much that they might do a theatric release? Because I would love to see this in IMAX.
Me too. But I don't think the other movies did.
That's a shame. This would honestly have been like such a theater experience.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely agreed. Any other final thoughts or words on Cosmic Princess Kaguya?
Go and watch it. Schedule in some time to do it, or do what Zane did, watch it in like a couple of parts. But definitely go and watch it. It's very fun, very, very good story. Is it the best? Is it the best anime movie of our time? Probably not, but like it's really well written. If you like good animation and like fun story, you've got no reason to. Your time won't be wasted.
Agreed. Definitely agreed. Yeah, I would say check this out. I think it's definitely worth the admission, and let us know your thoughts if you do. I think that's the main thing. We want you to get in touch. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, in the descriptions, all that jazz. I'm just trying to think where we are in the next episode. Are we going to be at the end of the season? No,
I think we still got a couple of weeks for the end of the season.
We got a couple of weeks.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. But be sure to lock in, like, subscribe, all that jazz. Of course, check out the Patreon, check out YouTube, check out Spotify. And I guess we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. Peace.